Hey guys, what's up? It's Dragon or Alu, whatever you guys prefer, and welcome back to another What If. It's been a solid minute, it's been quite long, and yeah. Today I'm doing What If Tanjiro and Nezuko swapped places. Demon Slayer, it's famous because it follows the story of Tanjiro, who tries to get revenge for his family and tries to find a cure for his sister who's been turned into a demon. And it's interesting to think about what would happen if those two swapped. Now, this idea wasn't thought of by me. This idea was given to me, or well, not given to me. The story, actually, the first 6 parts of this entire story were not even written by me. Now, before I continue, this story was given to me by Noahstorys. Some of you might know him from the past if you're an original viewer or an OG viewer or whatever you call that nowadays. But as you also know, Noahstorys, the what ifer, is gone. What that means is he stopped making what ifs. He's not gone as in dead or anything. He's still very much alive and kicking. I just wanted to say that this was given to me by him, and I would love it if you all went and showed some love to his new content. He now makes animation stories talking about some stuff he experienced in the past, some things, and some of his passions, just generally just storytelling, but animated. It's actually really good. And hey, I'm in some of those videos as well as a voice actor, or well, not really voice acting because I'm not really good at that yet, but I'm in there. So anyway, go give it a like, go give him a subscribe. If you do enjoy his content. I'm not forcing anyone to do this. His link will be the topmost link of this description. So, with that all out of the way, let's just jump right into it. For the Kamado household, it was a day like any other. Snow covered the mountains, having settled from the previous night's storm. Although it was early in the morning, everyone in the family was already hard at work. Takeo was chopping wood, Kie, Hanako, and Shigeru were tidying up the house, whilst Tanjiro was burning charcoal, preparing to sell it. Nezuko, the family's oldest daughter, was out with Rokuta, collecting herbs, vegetables, and berries for their next few meals. Although truthfully, the young woman wearing the light pink kimono was doing all the work, as her little brother was playing in the snow. But although she was doing it alone, it didn't bother the girl. Her eyesight made the job incredibly easy. With just a glance, she could spot all the plants and herbs in the area, even with the snow covering them. "Look, sis! I found something!" the little boy shouted, running towards his older sister, a pink flower in his hand. "That's beautiful, Rokuta. Where did you find it?" "Under a tree!" the boy exclaimed, handing the winter peony to his sister. "Oh, is it for me?" The boy nodded at the question. Yawning along with it, he had tuckered himself out, running around. Liking how the flower looked, Nezuko placed it on her hair, standing out among the black strands. The flower really seemed to complement her pink eyes, which almost seemed to fade to a burning red. "How do I look?" "Ah!" Nezuko heard from a distance, the sound of distress stopping young Rokuta from answering. The black-haired girl looked towards where the scream came from. She couldn't see much through the trees, but the auras of her family, as they moved out of the house, managed to stick out. Worried about what happened, she put the produce she collected in a small bag, grabbed onto her younger brother, and hurried back home. "What's going on?" Nezuko worriedly questioned upon arriving. "Big brother hurt himself while burning the charcoal." Shigeru filled Nezuko in, causing a concerned expression to form on the young girl's face. She looked over to Tanjiro, wanting to inspect him. His face was trying to hide the pain, but his sister could see that his bright crimson aura was aching, along with his leg. "Are you alright?" "He's not. He burned himself on the leg and arm. He can't even walk properly," her mother informed Nezuko in a stern yet gentle tone, wanting Tanjiro to stop working so he could heal. "I'm fine," Tanjiro expressed, wanting to resume his work. "Why do you insist upon this so much? We have enough money to last us until you heal. There's no need for you to push yourself. especially if you hurt yourself more. Kie embraced her son in a gentle hug. I just want us to have a good New Year celebration, where everyone can eat as much as they want. Tanjiro explained himself, his tone saddening as he realized that he wouldn't be able to go. That's very thoughtful, but... the mother started, only to be interrupted by Nezuko. I'll do it. After that statement, she got a confused look from both her mother and brother. I want us to be able to eat all we want too, so I'll go sell the charcoal, the girl explained further. Are you sure? With all this snow, the journey could be dangerous, Kie pointed out, not wanting her daughter to hurt herself too. One injured child to take care of was hard enough. It's fine. I have a kimono and haori I was fixing for Miss Sato that I didn't get the chance to return, so I might as well go into town and sell the charcoal too, Nezuko concluded. I promise I'll be careful. Thank you, Nezuko, Tanjiro said, receiving a soft and gentle smile in return. Hanako, Shigeru, come on, let's go make sure your brother is alright, Kie said, helping a limping Tanjiro up and taking him back into the house to heal his injuries. After making sure Tanjiro's injuries wouldn't require a doctor, Nezuko grabbed the clothes she had mended and returned to the burner, packing all the charcoal into a basket. With all that packaged up, she set out to leave, but found two little scamps blocking her path. We want to go to town too! Yeah! Shigeru added. No, you two need to stay here and look after Tanjiro. He hurt himself after all, but if you two are good, I promise to bring you back something from town, Nezuko offered, knowing the two wouldn't be able to refuse. All right, the two siblings said in unison, rushing back into the house to help. With her path now cleared, Nezuko left for town. Nezuko slowly made her way down the mountain. The charcoal was heavier than she expected, so she took a few breaks on the way. Why, hello, Nezuko, Miss Sato greeted once Nezuko entered the town. The old lady was sweeping the entranceway to her shop, but stopped as soon as she spotted the girl. You came down the mountain on a day like today? And with all that on your back too? Couldn't Tanjiro have come? Tanjiro hurt himself, so he couldn't. I had to return these to you, so I thought I'd come to sell the charcoal too. Well, thank you, dear. That was very thoughtful of you. Miss Sato grabbed the clothes from Nezuko, handing her some money in exchange. I hope your brother gets better soon. Thank you, said Nezuko, walking further into town. Hearing what she had said, some people came out of their homes requesting to buy some charcoal off of her. Nezuko, I'm so glad you're here. I've been accused of breaking a plate, a man bemoaned, filling her in. Can you help me out here? Please give it a sniff. I can't do that. My brother is the one with a good nose. Please, you have to at least try, he pleaded again, afraid of the punishment that would come if his innocence wasn't confirmed by someone. Wanting to help out in any way she could, Nezuko closed her eyes and leaned into the shattered dish, giving it a sniff. But she didn't get anything. Her brother was the one with the adept nose, not her. She gave up halfway through, opening her eyes to analyze the plate, spotting something rather peculiar. It looks like a cat did this to me, Nezuko stated, picking up on its aura. See? I told you, the accused man said to the woman, with her apologizing for the misunderstanding. After that, more and more people started speaking to Nezuko, asking to buy some charcoal or requesting help with some other odd job. Before she knew it, the sun had set and the night began, so she hastened her step, hurrying back home, the treats for her siblings in hand. Hey, Nezuko! Screamed an old man, Saburo, catching the attention of the young girl as she walked. You aren't going up the mountain at the time like this, right? It's simply too dangerous. It's fine, I can see pretty well, even in the dark. It's fine, you can stay here for the night. Come inside, Saburo said. Nezuko tried to refuse again, not wanting to be a burden, but the old man raised his voice. Don't argue, just get in here before the demons show up. Not having much choice, Nezuko spent the night with Saburo. She ate a nice meal while he told her a story of the demons that lurked in the night. An old wives' tale that was meant to stop kids from wandering out at night. Once she finished her meal, Nezuko went to sleep, wanting to get back home as soon as possible. At the crack of dawn, Nezuko got up, gathered her things, and after saying goodbye to Mr. Saburo, headed back home. The basket was much lighter than when she came down the mountain, only housing a doll meant for Hanako and some mochi for Shigeru. Regardless of the reduced weight, it still took Nezuko a while to go up the mountain. As she got closer to her home, she saw a thin red fog carried by the wind, followed by a repulsive smell. She was appalled by it. Her nose wasn't as sensitive as her brother's, but the scent and appearance of rotten blood in the air were unmistakable. Worried, the girl quickened her pace, arriving home moments later. Upon arriving, she saw the back door to her house utterly trashed. When she looked closer, she could see the bodies at the foot of the door. It was as if they were trying to escape something. They were her family, but something was different. Their auras had grown colder, as if the remaining life had escaped their bodies. The whole family laid there, all but one. Reflexively, the girl took a few steps back at the sight. She couldn't help but look in disgust as despair crept into her heart. Her hand shot to her mouth, trying to keep down the breakfast that quickly returned to her mouth. What happened? How did this happen? Nezuko asked herself in a panic, throwing the basket to the ground as she ran into her home, the gift she had bought falling into bloody snow. When she entered their bedroom, she could see this dark presence all around her, a pitch-black aura that had touched all her family members. By the layout of the room, she could tell that Tanjiro had died protecting everyone, as all but him made it to the door. It was too cruel to bear. That much was evident by the aura around her. But what could it be then? What could have done this? She'd never seen an aura like this. While she thought it over in a panic, she noticed that her brother's aura was still there. He was still holding on to life. He's still alive! He's still breathing! Nezuko exclaimed, running to his side after noticing. Checking his pulse, he was still warm and had a faint pulse. Knowing he needed medical attention, she mounted him on her back and started walking out the house, not noticing the bits of flesh around Tanjiro. As she walked through the snow, she tripped, falling into it. She was tired from the hike up the mountain, and her brother was heavy. She knew she wouldn't be able to take him down by herself, but she had to do something. Thinking quickly, she grabbed the family's cart, placed Tanjiro onto it, and hurried down the mountain. "I won't let you die, so stay with me, Tanjiro," the girl cried out as she headed to town, the fatigue slowly catching up to her. "I know you're not good at letting other people help you, but just this once." As the girl went on, her brother seemed to regain consciousness. He started moving around frantically in the cart. Nezuko tried to ask him to calm down, but he didn't listen, causing the cart to fall off the ledge. The girl tried to stop him, sending her down with the cart. Ordinarily, such a fall would be lethal. Thankfully, the snow cushioned their fall. Once she had recuperated from the fall, Nezuko got back up, searching her surroundings for her brother. He was a few feet away, standing in a strange position. "Tanjiro, you're hurt. Please don't move. Let's get you back in the cart." With bloodthirsty eyes, the boy stared at his sister, a sense of hunger oozing from him. Nezuko looked at her brother for a moment. His appearance and demeanor had changed. Even his aura was different. It wasn't the vermilion color she loved seeing. Instead, it changed to a dark burgundy color. Along with the change of his aura, fangs had sprouted from his mouth, and his nails had grown much sharper. The newly made demon jumped at his sister, trying to eat her. Nezuko struggled, holding him back as long as she could, with him clawing at her, trying to bite her. He's a demon? She thought in disbelief, a frightened look forming on her face at the realization. Seeing that expression, tears started falling down the boy's face. He struggled with all his might against his instincts, getting off the girl and taking a few steps back, trying to contain himself. "What's wrong with you? Eat. Go on and feast on her so you can become strong." Tanjiro heard someone order this in his head, the voice making anger surge up from within him. "No!" he screamed in between growls, struggling to keep himself from attacking his sister. From an outsider's perspective, he was moving around frantically without a clear goal. As he struggled, the boy regained his composure. He then got a whiff of an unknown scent. A man wearing a two-patterned haori approached out of nowhere, slicing at Tanjiro with his water breathing, trying to kill the demon. Tanjiro, having smelled him coming, managed to jump out of the way just in time, only getting a couple of strands of his hair cut. The strike, missing its target, hit the ground, kicking up a massive wall of snow, which sent Nezuko tumbling back. Thinking his opponent had just been beaten, the swordsman stood down, waiting for the snow cloud to dissipate. When it did, he found a demon still standing, but something was strange. Why is he acting that way? The swordsman thought, seeing Tanjiro next to his sister, hugging her and helping her up after making sure she was alright. He's basically a newborn, a feral creature. He should be acting on pure instinct. So why isn't he attacking? Why is he helping that girl instead? He wondered. It doesn't matter. In the end, he's still a demon. The serious-looking man prepared his blade and took a breath. The demon, smelling his intent, also prepared himself. "Wait!" Nezuko shouted before they could engage, running in front of Tanjiro to stop their confrontation. "What are you doing?" the man asked, pointing his blade at the girl. "Why are you protecting that thing?" "He's my brother. He needs a doctor." "You call this thing your brother?" the blue-eyed man asked, appearing right behind Tanjiro before they could react, restraining him by grabbing onto his arms. The demon seemed more surprised than anything. He wasn't even trying to run away. "My job is to slay every demon I find. So tell me, why should I treat this one here differently?" The girl took a step back, trying to think of an answer. Seeing that the girl wasn't coming up with anything, the demon slayer readied his blade. "Wait!" the girl shouted. "You hunt demons because they hurt other people, right? My brother hasn't hurt anyone. At my house he was unconscious, on the other side of the room from everyone. It wasn't his aura that was on my family, but another one. He hasn't hurt me either, so he didn't do anything wrong. He's not even trying to flee." "Just because he hasn't done it yet doesn't mean that he won't." "Then I'll stop him. He's all I have left. I'll do everything in my power to stop him from hurting anyone. I'll even turn him back into a human somehow. Just, please, don't kill him." "You? What can a frail girl like you do to stop a demon?" the man asked. "You're weak. You can't even stop me from taking a single step. You're utterly useless."
Don't talk to Nezuko that way!"
the demon boy managed to voice. He summoned his strength, growing in size, to free himself. Once free, he engaged the slayer, wanting to headbutt him, but before he could,
"Tanjiro, don't hurt him!"
Nezuko cried out, with the demon stopping in his tracks. Seeing the level of restraint this demon was showing at her command, caused Tomioka's eyes to widen for a moment. That demon was a newborn, and it was clearly starving. A demon in that state, no matter how strong, had no way of restraining himself. But this one was... The man prepared his sword once more, and made a move. With hostile intent, he took one step but then stopped. The girl reacted, preparing to be hit, whilst her brother stepped into the path he would have taken. She may be weak, but she has a fire in her, Tomioka thought, looking at her. And the brother, he's special. He's something to keep an eye on. Realizing that it was just a test, that he didn't intend to attack his sister, Tanjiro stepped down. "Do you want to cure your brother? Do you want to avenge your family?" the Demon Slayer asked, a serious look in his eyes. "Yes." "Are you willing to do whatever it takes to help him, or stop him should it become necessary?" "Yes," the girl reiterated, zero hesitation in her voice. Even though everything had been taken from her overnight, even though her brother had been turned into a demon, the girl had not cried. She had stayed strong and composed, leading Tomioka to deem her worthy. "Then go to Mount Sagiri. Get there as soon as possible. Look for an old man named Sakonji Orokodaki. Once you find him, tell him Giyu Tomioka sent you. He'll be the one to train you. It's cloudy right now, so he'll be alright, but whatever you do, don't let your brother be exposed to sunlight." After saying what he needed to say, the Demon Slayer vanished in the blink of an eye, leaving both siblings alone in the woods. Both siblings stared at where the man had been a few seconds ago in disbelief, wondering how he suddenly vanished. Nezuko then took a hold of Tanjiro and headed back home. There both siblings dug 5 graves, moving their family's remains into the holes. As they handled their family, Nezuko could tell her brother was struggling to hold himself back, salivating at the sight of blood. So she crafted a bamboo muzzle to make it easier on him. Once the graves had been dug, Nezuko put her hands together, praying for her family's safe passage into the afterlife. Tanjiro looked at the girl for a moment, imitating the same pose, after realizing what she was doing. As both siblings prayed, they could feel as if their family was around them, embracing them. "I'm sorry for leaving you two," they could hear their mother saying. "Please take care of each other." After hearing their mother's voice for the last time, tears started swelling out of Nezuko's eyes. Everything that happened caught up to her, making her start to cry. Her brother reached out to her, caressing her head before embracing her in a warm hug, letting her know everything would be alright. "Let's go," Nezuko said, her sobbing slowly stopping. She grabbed the supplies she had prepared for the journey, grabbed onto her brother, and left the mountain with him, heading to where that Demon Slayer had told her to go. And that is the end of part 1 of What If Tanjiro and Nezuko swapped places. I know it's a bit of a shorter one considering my old what ifs, but I'm trying to get back into it. I also haven't done this in a long time, so obviously I'm a bit rusty. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, like and subscribe. Part 2 will either be uploaded tomorrow or the day after. I'm pretty busy tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll have much time to upload it. But yeah, once again, huge thank you to Noahstorys for actually giving me this story. Once again, part 1 to 6, or maybe part 1 to 3 to 4, depending on how I'm gonna do it, will be what he wrote. I'm not gonna change it too much, and I'm gonna try and keep the story as much as possible in the way that he's writing it and realize what he wanted it to be. Just saying. But with that said, go like and subscribe, comment down below, go into the description. The first link is Noah. There's also my Discord if you do want to join that. But yeah, with that pretty much out of the way, thank you guys for watching. My name's Dragon, or Alu, and I'll be signing out.